Home to a 1v1 on Angoville. This game is going to be Captain Price versus ihitto. Price playing his Soviets in the south versus ihitto's Oster in the north. We will see Terror, guard rifle combined arms, and anti-infantry tactics. Kind of an interesting loadout versus ihitto's assault support, close air support, mobile defense. We've been seeing a lot of mobile defense out of ihitto, and we're actually gonna we're gonna see a sniper opening from Price. Sniper opening as Soviets, not as Oster. That's why it's interesting. This is a little bit new. I'm curious to see if he's going to be able to make that work, and ihitto's going to go with a pretty standard double grenadier opening, and it looks like they're both going to vie for the right side of the map early on.
Sniper has arrived. Need something demolished? Engineer standing by. You need something built? Engineers have secured the sector. You need something demolished?
Combat engineers making their way towards the right, grabbing that. We will see that ihitto takes control of the cutoff house early on. Barbed wire, oddly not present. Captain Price is usually all about throwing down those barbed wire traps on houses. Chose not to do that, just going to capture territory. Sniper went left, interestingly enough. I think he might have been expecting his opponent to go left, hoping to pick up some early snipes over here, kiting, but he will, of course, see that his opponent has sent pretty much everything right. Double grenadiers over here. His combat engineers are going to have to retreat. He will be forced to react to that a little bit. Not only did he go sniper opening into a penal battalion, so yeah, that's going to leave him with not that many squads on the field. Basically one combat capable squad to his opponent's 3 with sniper support. Probably going to be difficult to make this work. Pios start working on the cutoff, and Price will completely give up his attempt for the right side, clearly. Grenadiers are going to split up a little bit, though. One squad moving right for the munitions, the other 2 rotating left now to start maybe trying to take control of the left half of the map a little bit.
Territory captured.
Strafblatt needs orders.
Grenadiers reporting.
A new grenadier squad is ready.
Enemies firing on us!
Fire is up.
Grenadiers reporting objective captured.
Enemy infantry firing on me.
Grenadiers looking for an opportunity against the sniper will continue kiting a little bit towards the left. They're diving in hard and under heavy fire from that penal battalion. I think we might see Price take this engagement, although the sniper falls dangerously low right there. He will suffer a bit of manpower bleed in this engagement, having to reinforce that sniper model, but the engagement is clearly won. Grenadiers will be forced to retreat right there. But they did manage to trade 1 sniper model for their 4 grenadier models, which is definitely a trade down, but it's better than nothing. Combat engineers working against these grenadiers actually doing surprisingly well. Managed to take out 2 of their models as they charge across open ground. And then the sniper makes it into the engagement, and the grenadiers will be forced to retreat right there. Price will stick around for just a little longer, getting this sector under his control with those combat engineers. With 2 squads over here on the right side taking territory, Price has actually managed to take the entire left side, despite having gone with a sniper into double penal battalion opening. Seems to be doing pretty okay, and he's not going to take that sniper off the field yet. Snipers maintained a kill rate of about 1 per minute after having been fielded first, which I think for a Soviet sniper is about, I guess, where you want to be. I don't know. I have a lot less experience with Soviet snipers because nobody actually makes this unit. So this is new. This is new. I'm intrigued. I wonder if Price can make it work. I haven't cast Price enough this patch to see how his Oster sniper is doing, honestly. I've cast him once. His Oster sniper died immediately on Laglay's breakout, so that doesn't really say anything about anything, except for that Laglay's breakout is a tough map for Oster, which, ooh, what a surprise.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
But it looks like ihitto is struggling to deal with it. Penal battalions upgraded with flamethrowers now are going to make grenadiers even more
Shock troops troops have arrived.
Fragile. Shock troops, interesting. Wow. Very small infantry corps straight into shock troops as soon as Price made it to 2 CPs. Interesting. Penal Battalion making its way up the left side to take control of these strategic points. Penal Battalion also working on this strategic point, trying to maintain control of the left while the sniper is rotated right to try and force this flamethrower from the cutoff. Combat engineers will provide vision and start working on the victory point here. Shock troops making their way to the front line. Flamethrower will leave the house, jumping back into the house, maybe looking for an opportunity, hoping the sniper will expose itself. Sniper does manage to get a shot off. Up to 7 kills now. The shock troops will jump into point blank range even against the flamethrower. Try and brute force the squad from the building. They will convince ihitto to retreat. But a full squad of penal battalions got wiped on the left by a grenadier blob not being monitored, focusing too much on his sniper, and he lets a squad get wiped and he hands a flamethrower over to these grenadiers. That is going to be a very painful turnaround. Not microing that on the left could cost him the entire left half of the map. And it's going to cost him in manpower for sure. His sniper has not inflicted nearly enough damage to have been worth it yet. He's not spending the manpower to reinforce it, by the way. He's just going to basically treat it like it was an Oster sniper now. I think that reduces its vision range. I'm not sure if its rate of fire is affected. I don't think so. I think he can still get just as much damage out with it being at 1 man, but it's dangerous. It's definitely dangerous. Here comes an Oster half-track as well to give ihitto forward reinforcement on the left side. I've got to say, ihitto is dominating this patch. Have I seen him lose a single game yet? I don't know if I have, but every time I cast this guy, he is just shredding. I think it might be a little too early to call the game. But to be fair, I think we are seeing Price experiment a little bit, ihitto not so much, so I think we are looking at the meta kind of starting to shake out pretty decisively. I certainly applaud Price for trying to experiment around with his own strategies. I'm not entirely sure it's working though. Is that due to the strategy he's employing, or is it due more to micro mistakes? I don't know. That's why you want to cast multiple games, you want to put these things to the test. But so far it's kind of looking like this sniper opening for Soviets may not be ideal. I don't know. Field gun in production for Price, who has gone tier 1 into tier 2, getting that field gun now to protect himself from that flame half-track rush, which is new this patch. So that's kind of neat. Overextension of the flame half-track. Oh, gets away barely. Barely gets away right there. Not enough extra damage from the machine gun turrets and small arms fire and so on. Second shot didn't quite go off, and the flame half-track will get to safety. Price has decided that it's not worth the risk. He will reinforce that sniper. Over here on the right side, some shock troops are taking a nasty flame burst right there, but they're going to try and win this engagement regardless. They are bursting those grens down fast. Where's the retreat? There they go. Oh no, double flamethrower though. I don't know if that's going to get away. Barely, but that is going to cost Price a lot of manpower, and his army is already just nothing. He has nothing. Oh no, is he going to catch the half-track though? Sneaky flank with his penal battalion, and it's falling dangerously low. Getting hit on the rear armor. I think it will escape though. Penal battalion just didn't have the damage. They couldn't finish the job. Nice attempt by Price regardless. ihitto taking control of the entire map. He does have Price's cutoff. He does have all the high resource points, essentially. A little bit of decapping here by Price on the right side resources, but it looks like ihitto will be able to get those back under his control easily enough, while the majority of Price's forces are reinforcing here in the base. Bit of a cutoff attempt here by Price, but it's not. He hasn't actually cut anything off because these 2 points are connected, so doesn't actually do much of anything. Ooh, S-mine field right there. Nice cluster. That's gonna inflict yet more bleed on these shock troops, which have only 2 kills compared to their, what, 15 losses?
Comrade?
Something brutal like that.
Field gun standing by.
Einsatzbereit. Our MG-42s have arrived.
Strategic have secured the sector.
Ready. Ready.
Fresh conscripts have arrived.
We are ready for action.
We are losing a sector. Pioneers ready for anything. Half-track awaiting.
Half-track in the base will receive some repairs. It's quite quiet, largely because Price doesn't have a very big army. He's throwing some conscripts on the field, maybe try and boost his infantry forces that way. ihitto's very small force on the left side will, of course, be forced to pull back from pretty much everything Price has on the field, being sent towards the left to try and get a little more territory under control. Try and get that sniper's kill count up. It's up to 12 kills in 11 minutes, although it's had to reinforce at least
Secured.
1 time, so it's definitely not a very good return on investment thus far.
Good.
Penal Battalion and Combat Engineers moving to take control of the fuel point and munitions there on the left.
Shock troops here.
Yes?
AT gun here.
Da.
We have more conscripts at our disposal.
Comrade.
Grenadiers catch those shock troops at medium range, but they don't like the engagement. They're going to try and pull back a little bit. Shock troops also don't like the engagement. Once the flamethrower moves up to support, they pull back to support here more in the middle. The sniper starts taking shots at squads moving up the deep left flank, very wide. And the flame half-track looks for an opportunity against the shock troops, but it drives right into the arc of fire. This AT gun might go down. Oh no! Almost squeaks by, but not quite. Price had that AT gun position just right, as he always does.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
And conscripts will jump into green cover here on the glider wreck, try and push these grenadiers into retreat. What is this late retreat on these grens? Oh, plus the snipe. He's trying to get in range on that sniper, but it will retreat to safety, and the grenadiers get wiped. Conscripts almost get wiped in return, though, by flame bursts and LMG bursts. Barely make it to safety. Over here on the left side, flamethrower trying to hold the line on the VP. That engagement went quite well for Price, I would say. Taking out a Gren squad and a half-track, but his map control situation is so bad that I don't think it's going to matter. He's going to probably have to get out a second AT gun to provide a really concrete wall of protection against the Panzer IV, plus he just lost his flamethrower. So, looked like he was trading up, but now with the flamethrower dead, and Panzer IV moving onto the field, I'm not entirely sure.
Is ready for battle.
But he does inflict some losses on his opponent there, and he does force a retreat, so might be able to get a little bit of territory back. The entire right side is uncontested right now. Price might be thinking about sending something over there. Conscripts are being sent into the left side engagements, but maybe this combat engineer squad could do some capturing on the right. His fuel is starting to get a little bit up there, so he might think about going to tier 3 soon. But here comes the Panzer IV, and how Price manages this threat is probably going to very much decide how this game ends. If he can't handle a Panzer IV somehow, probably won't be able to recover from this situation.
Pack crew is ready. Pioneers awaiting orders. The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Couple mines going down here from Price.
We have a fresh grenadier squad.
Give himself a little bit of protection against that tank. Other than that, everything quiet. Price trying to get ready for ihitto's next push, and ihitto
Ready?
just healing up a little bit. Wants his next push to
We are ready for action.
Be a good one. Waiting for another squad of grenadiers to arrive. A little more healing. Bringing everything he has to bear for a huge push towards the left side. Looks like it's going to be his entire army against everything Price currently has on the field. 3 squads making their way towards the flank from the right, while the rest moves up from the north. AT gun set up in the back, although it has no targets right now. Price will be going with a second AT gun. And the sniper is going to start taking shots from behind the front line, while conscripts and penal battalion try and soak up as much damage as possible. Flamethrower falling quite low here, making a late retreat. Could get wiped if he doesn't get that out. There it goes. These squads moving up on the flank will convince that sniper to pull back to safety and must retreat. Has no choice. Panzer IV moving up in the midst of this engagement will also help break up infantry formations and cover, wipe the minesweeper, and push Price completely back into his base. He has no choice but to get his AT guns totally off the battlefield, and that leaves these conscripts very exposed. By retreating immediately, it looks like Price will probably be able to get that squad back to base at least, but he certainly made very little in the way of territory gains, and that was an expensive engagement. Cost him a full squad, and he inflicted no real damage on his opponent in return there. None of these grenadier squads have even taken a loss, so a pretty well executed flank right there by ihitto. Totally breaks up Price's forces, pushing him back into the base, and he now has to start vying for territory. Even the strategic points just outside of his base will be very expensive for him to try and recover as he tries to push that tank back with the AT gun wall and bleed his opponent's infantry with that sniper. Up to 20 kills in 16 minutes is a good kill rate, though. It's a pretty good kill rate. Even for an Oster sniper, that would be pretty alright.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
This is ours!
This sector belongs to the Reich. Pioneers awaiting orders.
Einsatzbereit.
We are losing a sector.
This is a nice spot. Grenadiers ready. Ours.
Fall back!
The enemy is taking our territory. Flak Panzer has arrived.
Austrian on the field, things pretty quiet.
Guys, listen to me if you want to live.
Panzer IV about to be fully repaired, and ihitto is going to move to make another big push. I'm surprised he doesn't make a little bit more of an effort to hold the line. He just must be a little too scared of these AT guns. He wants to try and find a way to hunt and destroy that sniper. He does need to bring a minesweeper with him if that Austrian is going to be making any deep flanking maneuvers to avoid those Soviet mines. Panzer IV is going to move up the left flank, try and pull the AT guns over there. Meanwhile, Austrian coming straight down the middle with minesweeper support. It looks like Price has vision of it coming, though. He sets up the AT guns perfectly. Austrian making a very poor maneuver right here. I think it might go down. No, there's a damaged engine. And a KV-8 switching to armor-piercing rounds to try and take the Austrian out completely, but it's not been destroyed yet. Continues firing on those field guns, and the KV-8 missed its shot right there. AT gun firing from the back on the KV-8's rear armor to try and pressure it into a retreat, and one of the field guns has been cleared. The Panzer IV is not even taking damage yet as these desperately try and make their way back into the base. Huge force of infantry moving up to support in this push, and this may be the decisive engagement that ihitto needed to take this game. That KV-8 can't do a whole lot against that Panzer IV. The field gun can, but it's got to reinforce and reposition. Panzer IV taking shots, almost wiping the sniper right there. Very, very, very close. And that's more manpower bleed the Price clearly cannot afford, whereas ihitto has got a good 700 manpower in the bank. Could afford whatever he wants. He could afford more tier 3. He could transition up to tier 4. Probably not even that. Hard for him to do that if he wanted to. So it looks like he's pretty much got this one in the bag, especially if he's picking up more wipes. Ooh, hit the mine right there though. I don't think it matters. Even if the Panzer IV is destroyed, I don't think it matters. Another wipe right there. Price has been reduced to almost nothing left. It will get around a corner,
The enemy is attempting
potentially
to
wiping
steal
that
our sector.
squad.
We are taking losses.
The enemy is taking our territory. We've been spotted. Is ready for anything.
That Panzer IV somehow getting to safety away from that field gun. It looks like Price will finally disengage, giving up on his attempt to destroy that thing. He will be denied even the moral victory.
Our squad has been honored by its bravery. You have orders? We've added to the fatherland. Pioneers ready for anything.
And ihitto will make another full retreat. Why does he keep retreating?
We have forced the
His
enemy down
forces
to
are not that
200
wounded.
points.
Price has basically
Our
nothing.
opponents are seizing a
But he
sector.
just wants to be as strong as possible. I guess ihitto's style is just a series of very strong pushes followed up by
Your
retreats
Grenadier squad is ready.
to get himself to absolutely the strongest he can possibly be for his next
Enemy
push, and
forces
that's
are
the
securing our territory.
means by which he snowballs out of control. But he doesn't seem to
A peg gun is ready for orders.
ever defend. Never defends his territory. He only attacks.
Stuka can strafe at your command.
Just attack and then retreat.
Stuka loaded to go with fragmentation
Seems to be
bombs.
working pretty okay though.
KV has released a Tiger for our use.
Grenadiers.
It's done.
Grenadiers here. Nine. Not like this. Engage. They're shooting us to shit. You want something? We're losing, man.
Pio's grabbing the right side. Price doing what he can. Left KV-8's fully repaired, backed by his 2 AT guns. ihitto now also has his own 2 AT guns, and there is now a Tiger on the field to support the Panzer IV.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
There's a pretty decent chance that Tiger may be able to finish out this game. Price is about to be triple capped. He's already down to only 200 VPs left, so he doesn't have a whole lot of time to execute some kind of miracle. Don't really know what form that miracle would take. Ooh, Tiger plus AT gun wall annihilates that KV-8. It's exposed for just a split second, and down it goes. Panzer IV plus Tiger is going to dive into the base with infantry moving up from the left to try and clear and put pressure on AT guns. One will go down very quickly right there, and everything else that Price has is going to get cleaned up here by the Tiger plus Panzer IV. That's clearly GG. Yet another win racked up for ihitto today.
And the Tiger to deploy.
GG. Axis wins.